Hello and welcome back to another interview conducted by the Diller Center. My name is Hailey and I'm a digital marketing and analytics major at Shippensburg University.
I'm Megan. I'm a marketing management major at Shippensburg University.
And today we get to interview some amazing women that work at RELI Group Inc. And we actually are interns at RELI Group. And so we've been there for about over 4 months and we really love it. So I'm gonna hand off the floor to these amazing women just so they can talk about a little bit about themselves, their backgrounds, and what they do at RELI Group.
Hi, everybody. I am Stephanie Ellis. I'm the Marketing and Communications Director for RELI Group. I'm really excited to be here. I have been with RELI for a little over 2 years, and before that, I spent about 15 years in the marketing communications industry. A bulk of that was actually spent working in higher education. So I am no stranger to working with college students, just like you, on how to experience college to the fullest extent. And before and after that, I've had a number of roles in the marketing communication space specifically. So what I am most passionate about is pairing those two things together. How do we talk about marketing and communications in a way that excites the next wave of professionals and gives you some really tangible tools to take away to finish out your college experience and to keep in mind as you move into the industry. So I'm really excited to be here. Thank you, Hailey and Megan, for the invitation.
Hi, I'm Dupre. I am the digital marketing manager for RELI Group. I work with Stephanie and as well as Hailey and Megan, and I really look forward to this conversation. Hopefully that we can provide some insightful information for all of you. My background is journalism. I have a bachelor's degree from the University of Texas at Austin, and never thought I would end up in the digital marketing world, but here I am. And I think that I give thanks to my background in journalism for paving the way for where I am today. And so as we'll delve into later in the conversation is that, with my writing background, it has really helped propel me in the marketing world. And it has helped me, it has helped propel me in the digital marketing world. And I will go into a little bit more in depth about what content is and how it relates to digital marketing.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And then kind of going off of that, how did your educational experience contribute to your personal and professional development?
I'll start with that, Robin, and then kick it to you. So I am a Messiah University alumni. I graduated back in 2008, and I could share all of the things that come to mind when you think about your college experience. And Hailey, Megan, maybe some of these come to mind. You're involved in the AMA Collegiate Club or, marketing centric activities on campus. I certainly looked for those, but I think where I got the most, real world experience was through internships and working. I was a first generation college student. And so that meant that I paid my way through college. 16 years later, thank goodness, I just finished paying off college. And so that meant having a number of jobs when I was a student, internship opportunities, looking for paid internship opportunities so that I could almost get the best of both worlds. I could continue furthering my education with experiences that applied what I was learning in the classroom to what a job would require, while also being able to pay for textbooks every semester. So I really look fondly back on the experience of hustling, of taking on as many opportunities as I possibly could, trying not to say no when an opportunity presented itself. I'm sure there were times in my collegiate experience that I can say, gosh, that was crazy, I wouldn't do it again, but I know that there was value out of the opportunity at the time. So that would be what I would say. Robin, what about you? What part of your educational journey led you to this moment and prepared you best?
Yeah, I'll piggyback on that where my internships helped me tremendously. It really carved out the path that I wanted to go forward. I took paid and non-paid and realized that there were certain fields of work that I didn't want to go into. And so with each one, it just built upon my previous experience and has led me to where I am today.
Okay, so thank you guys for answering that. So to continue on to building connection with students, what do you hope students will take away from hearing your insights today?
Robin, you go first.
Okay. Well, I just want to say for those listening to this conversation, I have a question for each of you. Do you dream of a career in digital marketing? If so, then I hope this conversation will highlight how creativity and ambition can truly make your career soar. And hopefully we'll answer questions you may have while providing a quick glimpse into the journey of this world of digital marketing. What about you, Stephanie?
I think when I refer back to my experience of working with college students and internships or meeting them at networking opportunities, Shippensburg has a lot of great networking opportunities in the marketing program, but it's helping students understand you know more than you give yourself credit for. Your educational experience has prepared you quite a lot to get to this point where you are right now. And so I hope that in listening to this conversation, you have some pockets where you realize, oh, I remember talking about that in Dr. Rahman's marketing class. And I remember hearing one of my classmates mention this in a discussion post. You know more than you think you do. And now as you start to get later in your college experience, more internship opportunities, you're going to start to recognize these aha moments of applying what you've learned to doing the job. So I hope you hear that in the discussion today.
Okay. And so then going into just like introducing digital marketing strategy, can you start by explaining what digital marketing strategy is and why it's important to business today?
Yeah, absolutely. So in a very general definition of what is digital marketing strategy, it's really using plans and tactics to promote a product or a service while using digital technology. Some examples of that would be using email marketing, using your website, social media. If you think about all of the ways that you hear about a sale at your favorite store or the release of a new album or a product, you're probably consuming that on a digital tool, probably from your cell phone most commonly. But there's all of these ways that businesses and brands have to interact with you as a prospective buyer. Sometimes that's business to business, business to consumer. Again, some of these things you might start recognizing from your classes, but that's what digital marketing is. It's using all of these digital tools to promote, sell a product. So when I think about why digital marketing strategy specifically is really important for businesses today, I think of three things, three benefits that come to them. Is digital marketing is far reaching. It is engaging tools that are some of the only tools working 24/7 for a brand. If you think about a company's website, it's their only advertising tool that is accessible 24 hours a day. So it's far reaching and it's accessible in a number of different ways. You don't have to be sitting at your desktop computer to be able to get that information. You have it in the palm of your hand anywhere you go, almost anywhere you go. So it's far reaching, it's accessible. It's also cost effective. Now I want to offer one note here that while some digital marketing strategies and tactics might be cost effective, low dollars investment, they're not always low time investment. So I always tell people when you're considering digital marketing, social media is a great example here, that while it might be low cost to have a company LinkedIn page or a brand Instagram, it does not mean that you can skimp out on the time that you have to invest into that resource. So whether you have somebody dedicated to that as a brand full-time in-house, or you work with an agency to support that, it still requires the investment of your time. Important for you as a student to consider too, as you're looking into internships and career opportunities, that when folks are talking to you about, oh yeah, it's going to be really easy, it's just social media, you already know it's a little bit more of an investment than you realize. The last thing that I think bodes well for digital marketing is that it's data driven. So there's very few things in the world that can give you concrete data and give you a direction for a next step. If you think about customer survey, you're getting data back to use. And a lot of digital marketing tools give you a way to collect that information. When is your buyer online? What are they looking for? What are their behaviors? What time of the day do they go online? What part of your website do they look at most commonly? Even down to where was the cursor of their mouse on the page when they stopped looking at it? So all kinds of data that as a digital marketer, you can collect and use to your advantage. And we're starting to see career paths within the digital marketing space that are really focusing in on that. Data analysts, marketing analysts, but even in the world of UX and UI, people who are spending an educational experience and even after college, really spending their time in their career to zero in on how to take that data from a customer and all of these digital tools, and then what to do with it. We know you're on our website. So what? Now what do we do? So those are the three things that get me really excited. If you can't tell, I'm excited about digital marketing and why it matters to businesses.
So thank you, Stephanie. I think all those points were like head on the nail, like that they were really good. Yeah, so definitely
Does that
really
line
good.
up with what you're learning in the classroom, Hailey?
Oh, yes, of course. Yes. Everything you talked about is, I think, every single chapter that we have went through. And I'm just overall really excited to apply it to our digital marketing with Robin as we're really increasing that with RELI and WinHub. So excited.
Awesome.
Okay, so on to the next question. What are some objectives that businesses aim to achieve through digital marketing, and how do these objectives influence their strategy?
Yeah, I'll start and share a couple, and then Robin chime in afterwards and let me know what I missed or add on some other good ones. So the two big ones that come to mind, brand awareness and ultimately making a sale. Those are the two. And when I think about how digital strategy and digital marketing is informed by those objectives, you might see some tactics that translate between the two. You know, having a great website presence certainly helps your brand awareness. And it's also a great platform for selling, whether that's e-commerce, whether that's selling a service or a product right there. But there are definitely some tactics that are unique to each of those things. You may take a different approach for brand awareness than you would if you were selling widgets. And so what I would just advise the listener of this session to think about is that in the digital marketing space and working with customers and different brands, it's not a one size fits all approach. Every customer, even down to every product, every segment, every service that you're working on for one brand even, can require a bit of a different approach. I find that to be one of the most exciting parts of being a marketer is that I'm always challenged to think about something differently or in a new way. Even if I've done this for 16 years, it's always something fresh and new to apply. Robin, what do you think?
Yes, I agree. The strategy always has to change and be revised in order to reach a new target audience. So I think, you know, we're past the day of just having social channels and a website. We really have to take steps forward of how to build that brand awareness and lead gen if that's the ultimate goal for the organization.
Hailey and Megan, what do you think? What has been your experience from the internship of understanding how there's an objective for a particular project and how we vary tactics?
So with our meeting with Robin that we had a few weeks ago, we really dove into SEMrush and kind of made these objectives and goals together to generate that brand awareness, and the overall leads to the actual website. And so I think that our main goal here is to really create visibility to our website. And through that, we create keywords that really adapt to our general niche and that really reach out to our audience. I know we dove into it a little bit, kind of trying to make sure that the keywords were lower with our authority score to make sure that we could get that bidding level whenever we did publish our blogs. And so I've just really learned a lot about how to increase that brand awareness through the keywords and how to apply them throughout our blog to kind of get it out to our audience. So that's what I've done.
That makes me happy, Hailey.
I was gonna say, I'm over here like, oh my gosh, they're doing it, they're really learning.
Yeah. I'm glad that the session was informative and helped.
Megan, how about you? Anything that comes to mind, maybe even like your experience in working in social media?
Yeah, everything
Tactics are
Hailey
sometimes
said.
different.
Yeah, everything Hailey said, but also just trying to create digital content that resonates with your target market. It's difficult because you have to adapt to whatever organization you're working at. So wherever you go, that's going to change, and you really have to put yourself in the mind of them and try to like dig in and figure out what they want to see, not necessarily what you're assuming the company would put out. You have to sort of like flip it around and view it from a different lens.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think that is an important question to be answered here. Robin, maybe you can take this one, what are some of the factors that businesses should consider when choosing a channel that's right for them? Where to find their target audience? What should they be thinking about?
Yeah, so this kind of piggybacks off of Megan's answer is that before any marketer can begin a strategy, they must be able to answer the question of who they are targeting. You have to truly understand the person that you're trying to reach. And once you have pinpointed that audience, then you need to understand their online behavior because demographics, needs, and pain points all differ from generation to generation. So once this key information is understood, then you can create your marketing goals. And you have to ask yourself these questions. Are you wanting to build brand awareness? Are you wanting lead generation? Do you want to increase website traffic or sales and conversion? Because each goal requires a certain strategy to reach your intended audience, which you had pinpointed earlier, Stephanie. And then the last question that a marketer must consider is its competition. If you really want to get into the nitty gritty of who you're targeting, look at your competitors and see what they're doing that is resonating with the audience. What social channels are they using and how effective is their campaign? The saying, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, I think is very useful in digital marketing. Look at your competitors for inspiration if you feel stuck or overwhelmed, and then go back to your original question and, fill in the dots. Fill out your buyer persona and get into their mindset to understand what they're trying to achieve. And if they are where they are along the journey, are they trying to buy or they're just looking or browsing? How many times have we all scrolled Instagram or TikTok or Facebook, and then before you know it, you're clicked on, campaign, and then before you know it, you're like knee deep in a website and reviewing content that you never even knew that you needed. And then you purchased. And
I was going to say, then add to cart, Robin. That's what you
Yeah.
add to cart.
Exactly. And so every single time that happens to me, I always want to give a high five to the marketer because they did their job and they turned just a person that was surfing into a customer. And so ultimately, that's what we all want to achieve, right? We want our target audience to turn into loyal customers. And that starts with your strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks. And then Robin, I also wanted to ask, how does content strategy fit into digital marketing strategy, and why is it crucial for engaging audiences?
Okay, so this kind of goes back to my earlier answer about my journalism degree and content. But before I answer this question, I want to reference a book that I think every marketing student should read. And it's called,
Nope.
can you see it?
No.
Oh, it's blurry.
Zoom is doing the most here.
Well, it's called Killing Marketing. And the authors, Joe Paluzzi and Robert Rose, they delve into this exact question and they provide some great examples of companies that have mastered the art of content marketing. And what they say is content is king. Content attracts and nurtures your audience. High quality, informative content positions your brand as a thought leader and builds trust with potential customers. So in my opinion, it all comes down to content, from blogs to social media to email campaigns and landing pages. It's critical for user engagement. So if you have writing skills or you're creative or you have mad graphic design skills, they all play a part in content. And another example that I wanted to provide is a brand that has mastered content marketing, and it's Red Bull. Now, when you think of Red Bull, you think of energy drinks, but in the marketing world, it's known for creating high quality content that resonates. The company uses a variety of multimedia content, including videos, articles, and social media posts, and they attract their target audience, which is young, active individuals interested in extreme sports and adventure. Now, what is their tagline? Red Bull gives you wings. It circles back to what they're trying to attract: people in extreme sports and adventure. So to this day, it is one of the most memorable slogans in the world. And through its content marketing, the company has achieved its main goal, which is to generate a direct profit from the content it creates. So if you want to learn from the best in terms of content marketing creation, I recommend researching Red Bull.
Hailey and Megan, can you think of any other brands that you're like, I could tell you what their slogan is right now?
Nike.
Yeah, I was gonna just do
That's a
it.
great example. That's a great example. How about you, Hailey?
Oh, I was thinking the same thing. Oh, someone behind the camera just said, GoPro, be a hero. So
Oh,
Yeah.
look at
that's
that.
another one.
We love crowd participation in these
Yeah,
calls.
GoPro is also very adventurous. So I
Yeah.
love their content. It's very user generated content. So it's very like they take sorry, the thumbs up got me. They take user generated content from different influencers and they post it on their site. So they don't even need to make content and go to these exotic places. They can already get it straight from their followers, which I think is a really good resource to use.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that just points to another reason why you need to have digital marketing strategy and engage your audience. In some cases, you may find yourself working for a company or brand, and it's a small marketing team. And you can only do so much as one person, two people. Robin and I work on a team of 7, including Hailey and Megan here. And so if we can engage our audience in a way that they become brand ambassadors for us, that makes our lives a whole lot easier too. They're taking content and information that we're providing in a voice in a way that we want it shared, and then they're making it their own. And that comes with a layer of credibility within their own communities. So whether that's their own social media following, their family and friends, you know, if I'm talking to, we have another gal on our team named Grace, and Grace and I always start our one-on-ones talking about Sephora. What did we buy at Sephora this week? And we're influencing one another. And yet that started somewhere. That was some marketer's content and posting something on TikTok that got me watching some influencer use the product. And now I use it and I loved it and I'm sharing it in my network. So that marketer just did their job, but had millions of other people now pick up that cause and do the job for them. So definitely a strong case for engaging your audience.
Mm-hmm. Hailey and Megan, what has been your experience at RELI with content marketing?
This might just be general advice for any intern, but I think it's important to do like your own research, sort of what I think Robin said. If that means like asking your coworkers, asking your manager, anything that helps you better understand who your target market is only going to benefit you, and no one is going to judge you for wanting to learn. And I think that's like a big thing that I learned.
I think another thing during our meetings, our social media marketing meetings, we go over the content that we created and we're all just giving feedback and making sure that what we created really matches our brand's message and just really overthinking everything. And that's something I've really learned to do. And it's really beneficial for even going forward in my career and going forward in my internship as well. So that's something if you have strong content that really resonates with your audience, your digital marketing strategy is going to back it up really well.
Yeah.
And these sessions that we have, it really pinpoints the importance of collaboration. You know, what you create and design and you showcase it to your team members, you see that they're offering another idea that you never even thought of or even considered. So yes, I think that's a part of the content marketing strategy, is just making sure that you're collaborating with other people within your team or within the organization, just to make sure that you're pinpointing every single dot so you can get that full engagement.
Okay, so another question for you, Robin. What does SEO play in digital marketing and how does it impact a business's online visibility and search engine rankings?
Yeah, so, you know, with our sessions that we had last week, I'm pretty sure y'all can speak to how we are bombarded with all forms of content and how one must view SEO as a roadmap for any digital marketing strategy. With the online landscape being fiercely competitive, businesses stand out by prioritizing and understanding it. If it is ignored, customers will go elsewhere. So for example, a great goal is to want for your business to rank on the first page of Google. Everybody wants that, but it's hard and it's attainable, but be prepared to invest a lot of time and effort. A more attainable goal is to focus on the low-hanging fruit so you can rank higher within Google. Look at keyword difficulty, which Hailey and Megan had discussed earlier. Choose a keyword strategy that focuses on keywords that your competitors are not. And with time and effort, a great SEO strategy on page 1 will be attained.
I think gone are the days too where having a website was enough.
Yeah.
And I think you probably can think of a couple businesses where like, need to do a little bit more. And maybe you find yourself in a job later on where you get to work with some of those businesses and help them. But having a website is not enough anymore. Having a social media is not enough anymore. It's now emphasizing in the modern landscape, the marketing landscape, how important strategy is, that it can't just be set it up and forget it. It's now, okay, how do you optimize your website? What needs to go on the page to engage the reader? How does the site function on your cell phone? Is it a good user experience, or do people get frustrated with your website and close it and think I'll go somewhere else? Same thing with your social. If the content isn't engaging, if it's not fresh, if it doesn't feel authentic, people aren't going to stick around, and you know where they will go is to your competitors. So it's not enough to just do the basics anymore.
True. And there are so many tools out there to help. Don't ever think that one has to go alone. The beauty of this current landscape is that you can learn and grow every single day and learn something new about the technology that you're using, or learning something new about the strategy that you created, a year ago. There's always ways for improvement. So if you have the eagerness and the willingness to learn, the sky's the limit.
And like, especially now more than ever, paid advertising has become really big on social media. So kind of talking about that a little bit, how does paid advertising complement organic digital marketing efforts, and what are the benefits of investing in PPC campaigns?
Yeah, so when you combine the two, which I hope that most marketers do, is paid advertising and organic digital marketing. When you combine those two, you create a well-rounded online presence. PPC is only supposed to complement what you have already created. And when I say that, I mean the organic content that you already have. You can use PPC to promote your existing content that is already performing well, and you can amplify its reach. This helps attract new audiences and potentially generates more leads and sales. And from a testing and refining strategy viewpoint, paid advertising platforms provide valuable data and analytics, as Stephanie had mentioned earlier. It gives you insight into what's working and what's not. So you can take the guesswork out of which keywords and ad variations perform best. And it really allows you to refine your digital marketing strategy for best results. So view paid advertising as a powerful tool to accelerate your efforts. So don't view it as a means all. It will just hurt you in the long run. So make sure that you have created a strategy for your social media, and then you use PPC as just a complement to what you have already done.
Okay, so continuing on to a little bit more of the analytics side, how do businesses measure the effectiveness of their digital marketing efforts, and what are some key metrics and KPIs to track?
Yes, so data and analytics. Every effort needs to be analyzed on a continuous basis. And that is the beauty of digital marketing. Stephanie had a touch base on this earlier, is that if you don't, time and most importantly, money will be lost. Data allows marketers to see what's working and what's not. And the number one question you will hear from leadership posed to every marketer is, what's the ROI? I mean, can you agree to this, Stephanie? You have to be able to answer this question with concrete data to back up your answer, because if you don't, most thought leaders most leadership will backtrack on their marketing efforts because they will want to see a concrete answer. And sometimes with marketing, you don't get it unless you have data and analytics to back you up. So some key metrics to track is website traffic. Are you seeing an increase or uptick from month to month or year over year? Engagement metrics. View and analyze your social media efforts. This indicates how well content is resonating with the audience. Lead generation. How many leads did you capture through your website, email signups, or other marketing initiatives? And look at conversion rate. What percentage of your visitors took action? Did they make a purchase, sign up for a newsletter, or download a white paper? And the beauty is all this data that you collect will help make better informed business decisions for your next campaign. Okay, so Stephanie, how do businesses stay agile and adapt their digital marketing strategies to keep pace with evolving trends, technologies, and consumer behaviors?
A great question, Robin. I think this industry, probably some others like it, but this industry really demands that its professionals stay up to date, stay educated, stay informed. And there's a lot to your point earlier, there's a lot of tools to help you be successful in this. I think when I first started my marketing professional journey, it's easy to be a little overwhelmed by, oh my gosh, I've got to do all of this. I'm Hailey and Megan, you're nodding and smiling here, so maybe you feel a little bit of that now, but oh my gosh, I have to write the copy, design the graphics, schedule it, engage with the audience. Then I have to do analyze the data, and then I got to do it all over again. And when do I sleep? And the answer is just a little and drink a lot of coffee. But you have to stay up to date on the trends. So I suggest start now as a college student. Look for resources. I'm sure you're hearing about some of these in your classes, whether that's tools like SEMrush, which is a great tool for SEO work. It has so much detail included in that platform. There's a free trial, and then they have a whole resource academy where you can take certifications as quick as an hour, where you learn really specifically this one facet of digital marketing. You can subscribe to newsletters. I might be the only person in the world, and maybe an email marketer's dream candidate is I sign up for every email newsletter. It's easy for me to just delete them, but there's got to be some nuggets in there. So I'll do a quick scan of email newsletters in the morning before I start my day and see, is there anything in here of value for me today? So you have to stay up to date on the trends. I think I keep coming back to this point that we've made several times here, which is the importance of data and analyzing it. I think it's an easy temptation to check that as a box. You know, I designed, created, and posted this social media content. I went back and I got the impressions and the engagement rate, and the box is checked, and now I move on to the next. But what really sets brands apart from one another, marketing professionals apart from one another, is asking yourself the question, once you see that data, so what? Now what? You have to do something with it. You have to use it to inform, change, redirect your marketing strategy, or it's not worth doing. And in that, I think that's where you start to really identify those consumer behaviors, where your audience is, what they're looking for, what resonates, what seems most authentic from you. And that's going to elevate your brand. So stay on top of the trends, look for resources and tools, take advantage of them, and don't forsake the actions that come after getting your data. I have a perfect example in this conversation is right before this call. I got a text message from Yeti that they just released a new color tumbler or a new color in their line. And I am a water bottle aholic. I have a lot of them. I have different colors. I like bright colors. I like black colors. I like dark. They sent a text message about this new pink. I'm like, and I just the urge. But if that is not a marketer doing a great job that has pegged me, somebody who loves water bottles, I don't know what is.
Can I share a little something about water bottles too? This brand, I know you have a lot of them. Awala.
Cheers, friend.
They just came out with a floral pattern, and I'm just like, ugh, I don't need it. I have 40 water bottles that I switch out every single day, but it's so beautiful. So yeah, they're doing a great job.
I'm gonna look for that online when this call ends.
I'm obsessed, so you will not be disappointed.
Is this not though the perfect example of what we were just talking about? So engage with your audience. You have a product, you knew I liked that product already. You shared something that you saw, and now I'm immediately influenced to go check it out myself and make a purchase.
Yep.
I love that.
Okay. So then I guess some final thoughts from you guys. What advice would you give to students looking to develop or enhance their understanding of digital marketing strategy?
I'll take this, Stephanie.
Go for it.
I would say technology. You know, technology is going to be your friend. I would advise for everyone that is looking to embark in the digital marketing world is look at technology, look at the tools that you need, and then become an expert in it. Really understand the platform so that you can speak to the pain points, all of the questions that we had addressed. And that helps by, creating the strategy and then analyzing it and then looking at the tools to help you answer those questions. So, for example, SEMrush, it is one of the #1 SEO tools out there. And I've been using it for a number of years, and I still learn something new every day because they're constantly rolling out updates. So what I know 6 months ago can become irrelevant tomorrow, or it can, become the number one thing that, like keyword research. It wasn't that important a couple of years ago, and now it's everywhere, and you have to know it. You have to know keyword difficulty and what that means and so forth. And that just all boils down to become an expert, answer the questions before they arise, and be prepared to constantly move forward in your education.
I think tech is a great answer. So any of those online courses, reading up on resources is great. I would strongly encourage anybody who's listening to this to look for hands-on experiences as well. There are internships everywhere. Your career center has them. Hailey and Megan found one, and they work remote. We're a company based in Baltimore. I'm in York, Pennsylvania. Robin's in Houston, Texas, and they found an online internship. There are opportunities for you to apply what you know and to continue your learning. And I can assure you that a student who completes the college experience without a hands-on experience as part of that is going to graduate, hopefully get a good job, will be fine. But I can guarantee you that if you couple your classroom learning, your projects, your finals, your papers, all that good stuff with actually applying it to real world experiences while you're learning, it's only going to enrich that for you and make you a more well-rounded candidate upon graduation. Not to mention the fact that you build up a resume and a portfolio to share when you graduate. So big proponent of internships here.
Yeah, that's funny, Steph. That's actually what I wrote. I wrote hands-on experience and learning.
Nice. Yeah. What do you guys think? Anything more on that, Megan?
Yeah, I think definitely that to anyone that's listening, internships are great. What you learn in the classroom is really informative and beneficial, but actually doing it is the best way to learn, and it's the best way to further yourself in your career. And also, even if you don't have an internship right now, just play around with stuff like Adobe, Canva, SEMrush, Figma, like anything like that. It's all practice and it's all going to benefit you in the long run.
Hailey, how about you?
I just want to say, if you're watching this and you don't have an internship or you're applying to them, keep doing it, keep looking, keep updating your LinkedIn profile because it really helps. I love getting connections, and it's like one of my new favorite social media apps right now just because everyone from the university is on there. I also just want to kind of shout out that Shippensburg University has a program through Coursera where you can take free courses through that. And I've taken multiple courses to really develop my personal brand. So I think that's what I would really say. Just get real world experience and get those certificates.
Yeah, as a hiring manager, I'll tell you, if I'm looking at 10 different resumes for recent graduates that have some internship experiences or no internship experience, and there's somebody who has an internship and has demonstrated that they've gotten these certifications and really showcase that they have put the time into learning, that's who I'm going to pick every time.
So what is the difference between being a digital marketer manager and a marketing and communications manager?
Good question. Stephanie, I'll let you answer.
All right, so to repeat the question, what's the difference between Robin's job as a digital marketing manager and my job as the marketing communications director? So from a hierarchy standpoint, I'm responsible for the entire marketing and communications team. When you get to being a director level, your role shifts from being more operational and technical into more of that natural strategist role. And then you also, instead of becoming responsible for the work itself, I'm now responsible for the people doing the work. So it's important to me that as Robin in her role as digital marketing manager, if she's doing the work, if she's the person that's in SEMrush and analyzing the data and making the recommendations, then my role changes and helps Robin think about the strategy. You know, I'm engaged with our senior leadership team. I understand what our strategic blueprint as a company is for the next 5 years. So I'm sharing that information with Robin. And then I become this liaison between Robin and what she's collecting and discovering and doing to now coming back to leadership and saying, okay, this is where we need to put our focus, or this is how we're moving the needle. This is what matters. It also becomes a responsibility of mine of making sure the team has what tools that they need. You know, do they have the right tool? Do they have a SEMrush account? Are we paying for the right software? Are we using that software? So the role changes a little bit. I think the best way to describe it is I moved from doing the work to now being responsible for the people who are doing the work. Robin, what would you say?
Yeah, and to kind of go back to the difference between the two is that some organizations think that they can hire one person to do it all, referencing PR, communications, and traditional marketing, and then digital marketing. And what they fail to realize is that those are 4 different areas within the marketing world. So really figure out from an organization standpoint is what are you trying to achieve? Where do you want to put your focus? And most importantly, where do you want to put your dollars? And then hire the right person that has a skill set that complements that overall goal. So if you're hiring someone with a PR background and you're wanting to put them into digital marketing, you're not going to get your ROI that you're searching for. And the person is going to continue to fail in reaching those goals because their strong suit is in PR and marketing, and it's not in digital. So I just think that, when as students, when you're out there searching, make sure that the organization that you're interviewing with really has an understanding of marketing and what it's trying to achieve, and come with questions to test their skill set to make sure that you're interviewing for the right position and most importantly with the right organization.
Robin can tell you honestly that when she joined our team, we had a very candid conversation about that exact thing where I said, Robin, I've been here X number of years. I've only been able to do this much, and I need somebody who can take it to the next level. And I think too, as you see somebody progress in their career, and the mark of creating a strong team is to be able to identify you can't do everything. You are not the expert in all things. And it's okay to build a team of other experts. It doesn't make you look bad. It doesn't mean that you're not good at your job if you don't have all of this marketing experience, but it then becomes how can you both elevate one another by bringing your strengths to the table. Robin brings her strengths to the table, and together we're a better team. So Robin would confirm that I was like, Robin, I need you. Gal, I need you.
Yeah. And one of the things that I love about Stephanie the most is that she will surround herself with the people that are experts in whatever she's seeking, and she doesn't allow her ego to get in the way and say, I don't know that, or I know more than you. Let me, boast my skill set and my expertise. No, she's very vulnerable in the sense that she says, hey, this is not my strong suit, but I'm going to hire the right person that will help me have a better understanding so I can reach new heights with my goals. All right, well, I have a question for Hailey and Megan. I'll go with Megan first. Megan,
Okay.
so tell us about a class where you learned about marketing strategies and/or digital marketing.
I would say I'm taking a class right now. Well, it's wrapping up, but services marketing with Dr. Rahman. We got to work with Figma where we went through the customer journey, and it was really insightful because you learn about how like customers get introduced to a company before they even realize it. Like the steps leading up to like just the brand awareness, even before that. And so I think it's really helpful to learn how to position yourself, where to advertise, how to get your name out there, because it shows you where people are looking. So that was a project I really enjoyed that I did recently.
What about you, Hailey?
So for my digital marketing major, we do have a digital marketing class. So we actually got to dip our toes into SEMrush, and I know I talked a little bit to you guys about that. And so Dr. Powell, if you're listening, hello. Thank you for just giving us the opportunity to do that. But in our meeting a couple of weeks ago, I was just able to really understand what Robin was saying and all the different analytics she was getting across and how to set it up. I think I really knew what was going on just because of that background information that I got from that class. And so I know we didn't really have any questions. I know I think I asked like 2, but I didn't really have any questions because I did know what was going on. And I think that's really good, background information, so we can move on from where we were, and we didn't have to kind of keep revisiting that because Megan and I both understood what was going on, and we could immediately just go right into the keyword research and start working on the blogs. So
Right, nice little plugs there for your faculty members and educators here.
Yeah. Yeah, and that makes me feel good as a teacher too, because, I think at one time I asked them, I know I'm bouncing around a lot. Like, I don't know if this is resonating or not. So I'm glad to hear that y'all got some good takeaways from it.
Well, thank you, Stephanie and Robin, so much for joining us today. Everything that you said was very insightful and informative. I think it will really help students and shine a light a little bit more about digital marketing strategy. So I'm looking forward to getting to talk to you guys again.
Thank you guys so much.
Perfect.
Thank you. Our pleasure to be here.
Thanks. It was fun.